It's 8:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. A man has suffered critical injuries in a crash at Heatherbrae last night. Emergency services were called to Masonite Road at about 6:30, where they found the man trapped in his vehicle. It took some time to free him from the wreckage. No one else was injured in the crash. Labor MP Joel Fitzgibbon's seat of Hunter is now marginal after a shock result in Saturday's federal election. He previously held the seat with a comfortable 12.5% margin, but this has been reduced to just 2.5% after a strong showing from One Nation candidate Stuart Bonds. The mine worker polled almost 22% of the primary vote on the back of a robust campaign against Labor's climate change policies amid fears for jobs in the coal industry. Nationals candidate Josh Angus polled 23%, with preference flows from One Nation cutting Labor's stranglehold on the seat. Joel Fitzgibbon told NBN News Labor's policy platform was rejected by the electorate.
We took a message of change to the electorate, and the electorate chose not to embrace change. The electorate always gets it right. That's its decision. But we warned that a vote for One Nation was a vote for Scott Morrison, and that's exactly what happened.
Elsewhere, both Labor members for Shortland and Patterson were returned but had their margins halved. Only Sharon Claydon in Newcastle ran true to form, polling 64% of the two-party preferred vote, with a slight swing to her on the back of Greens preferences. While further north, Nationals MP for Lyne David Gillespie and New England's Barnaby Joyce easily retained their seats, with 4% swings to them, two-party preferred. More than 100 people were charged with drink driving and 16 were charged with driving under the influence of drugs during a police crackdown in the Hunter at the weekend. An extra 90 police officers were brought in for Operation Chrome on Friday and Saturday. Almost 11,000 breath tests were carried out, along with 500 drug tests. Police booked 600 people for a range of offences, including not wearing seatbelts, using mobile phones and speeding. Operation Chrome was in response to 45 deaths on Northern Region roads this year in a bid to curb the number of serious crashes on our roads. The historic Ravensworth Public School lies in ruins after a weekend fire. The 1876 building was replaced by a new school in the early 70s and has stood empty since then. It's not clear if the building can be salvaged. Rail commuters are being advised of changes on the Hunter line for the next few days. Track work is being undertaken, with buses to replace trains between Scone and Maitland and Newcastle interchange from 4 a.m. tomorrow until Thursday night.
2NURFM Sport.
Knights captain Mitchell Pearce is again being touted for a possible Origin call-up after leading Newcastle to a comprehensive 45-12 win over the Dragons. The halfback scored his fourth try in as many games, produced 4 try assists and landed a monster 35-metre field goal in the final minute of yesterday's game. Coach Nathan Brown says Blues coach Brad Fittler has plenty of contenders to choose from in the halves.
Freddie's got some big decisions to make, and he's got some, plenty of good halves playing well in there, Katie, and both the South Sydney boys, Junior's playing well, obviously Luke Keary's playing well, and the incomers from last year did a great job from last year, aren't quite going so as well.
Northern New South Wales NPL cellar dwellers Valentine showed plenty of desperation to beat Lake Macquarie 4-3 yesterday to notch up their second win of the season to jump to 9th on the ladder, leaving Lakes in last place. Elsewhere, Western defeated Edgeworth 2-1. Maitland scored a 2-0 win over Adamstown. Charlestown drew 2-2 with Lambton, and Broadmeadow beat Jets Youth 5-2. And in the women's NPL, New Lambton came from behind to beat Wallsend 5-1 to take their winning streak to 10 games. And the winning numbers in weekend lotto are 8, 45, 6, 2, 39 and 36, and the supplementaries are 5 and 13. 2NURFM News Time, 26 to 9.